All right, my lovers, welcome back to the channel. Before we get onto our topic today, I wanted to address, why do I start all my videos like that? You know, I'm using the term lover in terms of my audience are people who love bikes, love giving their opinions, love dorking out. I could say hello bike nerds, hello bike dorks, hello, I could say a bunch of things, but you know what? I want to spread the love. That's the hippy dippy side of me. It has nothing to do with romance. I have a partner. I'm happy with my family. So when I call you lovers, I call you a lover the same way I call my little baby a lover, the way your grandma might have called you that. It's the opposite of a hater, and we're online. There's a lot of haters online. I'm going to diffuse that right away by calling you a lover. It makes it harder to leave angry comments if I call you a lover right off the bat. And as a result, guess what? The vast majority of the comments that are left on my channel are super duper positive. So stay being lovers, my friends, because I really prefer that than the opposite. Okay, so my first topic I wanted to talk about as I'm riding my bike through the city in these videos is that I am not a cyclist. This is not a channel for people who are cyclists. I am a dude that loves bikes. I'm a bike dork. Now, what do I mean by that? What's the difference between a cyclist and a bike nerd? Or someone who just likes bikes? Is that I'm not competitive in any way. And I'm not gonna lie, when I see people all kitted out to the nines and everything, I'm kind of like, oh, that's really bougie to me. Now, I'm not gonna say that in a way where I don't think cycling gear is awesome. Like there are, I think a pair of cycling shorts, a bib is good, and I'll tell you why cycling shorts are good and why bibs are good. Number one reason I like cycling shorts is because I don't like getting wedgies. When you wear just regular underwear when you're riding, that nonsense can ride up like a mofo. And then eventually you're getting all bunched up and you have to keep stretching it out. And the beautiful thing about cycling shorts is that they're already stretched out. They tend not to bunch up. That's number one. Number two is they're padded. Okay, so when you're sitting on that saddle, I really recommend that people don't get squishy saddles if you're going to be riding regularly. I think most of the saddles that I ride on may have a tiny bit of cushioning on it, but you really want the saddle to keep its shape. So a lot of people who do touring and are going to make an investment in their saddles will get Brooks saddles. And, something that'll remain relatively firm and conform to your behind, that's something that you want to get. And when you have those harder saddles or stiffer saddles, that padding on the cycling shorts really makes a difference. So if you just had a pair of cycling shorts, and I would always advise people who feel weird about wearing that, and let's just be real about it. If you don't consider yourself a cyclist, seeing people in all that spandex it's hard. You know what I mean? Like when you're not a cyclist, it looks goofy. When you're into it and you've worn them before and you've worn them for long enough that you don't think about it, then it's not a big deal. But if you've not grown up cycling like that, it look hella goofy. So I get that, and I'm here to tell you that I agree with you. It looked goofy, but there are benefits to it. Now, if you don't want to look like a cyclist, if you want to just look like a person who rides bikes, ditch the underwear and wear the cycling shorts as your underwear. I do it all the time. That's your underwear now when you ride bikes. Just consider it that. Wear underneath a pair of shorts. If you want to wear a pair of shorts that goes longer than the cycling pants go, so that you don't have to show anyone you're cycling. I've been riding long enough that I'm not an old man, but I'm like in my mid 40s. I'm like 45, so I consider myself old enough where I'm just like, I don't care. But I know what it was like when I was in my 20s, and I wouldn't have been caught dead in a pair of cycling shorts on their own. It's just a reality, I guess, when you grow up and when you start to see the benefit of it and you really start to get into cycling more, you just tend to care less. But I'm not gonna pretend that I didn't change over time. Like if I was in my 20s and my 30s, I was trying to hide them. So I would just put the shorts over it and just wear it like underwear. So they're really beneficial because, again, you're padded and it's not bunching up. And you don't realize until you start doing it, wow, what a difference it makes, and how every little piece of comfort that you can add while you're cycling is going to make your ride more enjoyable. Now, one reason why I do like bibs is because we have 4 seasons out here, and the winter, it be getting cold. And the beautiful thing about the bibs is that when you just wear the cycling shorts on their own, you can get a little gap between your shorts and the shirt that you put on, the top that you put on, and that allows wind in. When you have the bib on, it just covers everything up, and so there's no wind coming in. So the bibs tend to keep you warmer during the winter time, so I really like them for the winter. For the summer, I will just go to the shorts and try to wear regular clothing. The one bad thing about bibs is that going to the bathroom is a pain in the butt. Having to take that whole thing off, you gotta be like a 5-year-old when you go to the bathroom, where they just pull their whole pants down. So that's the one thing about the bibs that are a pain in the butt. But otherwise, you know, once you get more and more comfortable, you'll just be like, I don't care. It's super. Because it is really freeing to be able to wear cycling gear. Like, it just is. Like, once you start to do it and you get used to it, you're just like, oh, this feels way better when you're riding miles and miles and miles, to just have your bib on and maybe a cycling jersey. But what I'll do is I'll mix it up. I'll wear a soccer jersey because, you know, they tend to wick sweat pretty well. They're made so that you can run around a field for 90 minutes on a soccer pitch. So they'll do good at, like, diffusing the sweat. You're gonna get sweaty. It is what it is. When you watch my channel, my bike build, it's really about dorking out about different upgrades on your bike and different handlebars and what kind of brakes you should get and finding the right size of bike for you. But I do not, and I have never ever considered myself a cyclist. I'll never consider myself an air quote cyclist. I'm literally just a dude that likes to ride bikes. Is there a difference? Some may think so, some may not. Now, as a dude who likes to ride bikes, or bike dork, bike nerd, bike lover, I definitely take from that cycling culture and incorporate it into some of the things that I do. But no, most of us are not cyclists. You may consider yourself that. You can get in the comment section with how you feel about that term. But I would say most of the people that ride bikes, and definitely most of the people that I'm trying to attract to my channel, we're not cyclists. I'm not gonna lie, I do Strava because I want to keep track of how many miles I've done every week, but I'm not on that trying to like break any records. If I happen to get personal records on certain stages of my cycling, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I'm not ever really trying to, how would I say it? I'm not really trying to push myself to any sort of limit per se. I'm trying to get a nice cadence and build up enough stamina where I can just adventure all day. That's kind of my goals. And when I feel that the stitches in your shoulders go away and you just can ride and ride and ride, you know, some parts of your ride's going to be faster, some are slower, but ultimately you're just out there enjoying nature and enjoying being outside. And so it's weird because I grew up in the city and I always looked at outdoorsy people as people who spent time specifically hiking or in the woods. But it's just, you like to be outdoors. And I grew up in the city and I was always outdoors. I grew up in Southern California, and so I never considered myself outdoorsy, but the older I get, I'm like, I am an outdoorsy guy, but not in the stereotypical way that people mean it, in that like, I like hiking, or I like camping, or I like fishing. None of those things, I would do any of those things. They sound fun, but they're just not something I grew up doing. But I did grow up being outside a lot, and I think being a cyclist or being a bike rider or being a bike enthusiast who's out on their bike is an outdoorsy type of activity. So you're in the club of that too, even though you might not have ever considered yourself that, even though you're a city kid, which is what I was. Well, those are my thoughts for the day. Please get in the comments section and share with us. Right now, as I make this video, I'm on 666 subscribers, and that is just sinister. So someone please help me out, okay? Get away from this devilry we're on right now.